Hello, this is Tarish TV. Welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Please, if you are here to subscribe, kindly subscribe to this channel so that you can get updates, and just click the bell icon so that whenever we post the news, you'll get a news update. I beg your pardon. All right, thank you for supporting us, and we pray that God bless you more. All right, the news says U.S. Congress condemns continued detention of Sowore and others. United States lawmakers, Washington, D.C., has condemned the continued detention of the publisher of the Sahara reporters, Omoyele Sowore, Jones Abiri, Kofi Battles, Samuel Ogundipe, and some other journalists and activists by the Nigerian government. This was as the lawmakers also expressed worries and concerns over what it said was the closure of the media and civic space in Nigeria, noting that the actions of the government and the security agencies reflected lack of commitment to civic freedoms. The U.S. lawmakers made the allegations in a letter dated 25th November 2019 and addressed to Ambassador Silvanus Nsofo, Head of Mission, Embassy of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Washington, D.C., USA. It noted that the repressive actions of the Nigerian government were becoming more alarming in view of the fact that the government has been defying series of court orders, freeing some of the detainees, and also resorting to using of excessive force against non-violent protesters in some parts of the country. The lawmakers in the letter, signed by Senator Robert Menendez and a member of the Congress, Josh Gotima, cited on Wednesday by the Nigerian Tribune, condemned the Nigerian government for harassing and detaining Sowore and others, whom it said were investigating and speaking out against politically sensitive problems including corruption and insecurity. Another troubling report about Nigerian Security Service assaulting and detaining journalists, using excessive force on non-violent protesters, and taking other actions that inhibit freedom of expression and otherwise prevent Nigerians from fully exercising their fundamental constitutional rights, the lawmakers wrote, alleging that there were reports of torture of some of the detainees. The lawmakers wrote, in at least one instance, the Department of Security Service, DSS, had ignored a court order to release a detained activist. Restrictions and deadly crackdowns on non-violent protests since 2015 have similarly reflected a lack of apparent commitment to civic freedoms, which is beginning to negatively impact the image of Nigerian government, both at home and abroad. These crackdowns have collectively killed hundreds of Nigerian citizens and served as a troubling demonstration of excessive force used by the military. The alleged perpetrators of these abuses have yet to be brought to book. The U.S. lawmakers in the letter noted that Nigeria has a critical role to play in preserving peace and stability in the West African sub-region, adding that as the most populous democracy on the African continent, it could serve as a shining example of how countries can best observe the rights enshrined in the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. However, failure to respect these rights in the Charter and those in Nigeria's own constitution undermine your nation's ability to lead in this area. We urge you to ensure that the rights and liberties contained in the constitution are observed for all citizens, and to take action against further closing space for journalists, political opposition, and those in civil society. The rights of all citizens must be respected without the threat of government reprisal. We look forward to seeing progress on this critical, important issue, the letter read. All right, viewers and listeners, this is the letter that was sent to the Nigerian embassy in the United States. If the international community can begin to, see things and begin to take steps in this direction, then you can definitely be sure that it is getting to an alarming rate where the Nigerian government is flouting court orders, taking laws into their hands, and doing things the way they feel or the way they like. The APC government has to be cautioned. The APC government led by President Muhammadu Buhari has to be called to order. This is not democracy the way it ought to be. The democracy that the Nigerian population signed for is not what is being practiced at the moment. Now that the international community are beginning to come into or shine their light and touch their light into these issues, it is very worrisome, and it is becoming undemocratic for the government to continue to detain people. There are instances where journalists are being taken away. Some are not even seen, and some are detained, even while the court order will be given for them to be released on bail, and they are still detained. This is not right. This has to stop. Those who have the ears of President Muhammadu Buhari should call him to order so that peace can be restored, so that the sanity of democracy can be restored to the country. This is what the people of Nigeria have called for. This is what the people of Nigeria are calling for. Please, I would like you to share your own views on what is going on so that we can put minds together. Please, thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel.